Hello, Internet. We're on day 2 of the fest. I'm losing my voice already. Good to talk to you again. I'm Scott Heisel, managing editor of Alternative Press, joined to my right and your left with Francesco Montesanto, a beautiful name, if there ever were one, the lead singer and one of 2 guitar players in a band called Sainthood Reps. Say hello.
Hey.
Now, I should point out, in the interest of full disclosure, I did put a record out by them once, and it sold really well, so that's why I'm going to do it again. No, I'm not, actually. They're on No Sleep Records now. Congratulations to them. You're on No Sleep. Your new album, Headswell, just came out.
Yeah, we couldn't be any more excited about it. It's pretty much exactly how we envisioned it turning out, with everything from the artwork and the production, just came together so well. It's exactly what we wanted to put out.
What I like about your band is that over the course of your career, every release you've done kind of has a different sound to it, whether it was the split 7-inch with Oh Brother or Monoculture and now Headswell. When you're approaching writing songs for a record, obviously you played a couple songs at Fest last year that were new songs. What did you know which songs were going to be on the split 7-inch you did with Weatherbox? Which songs were going to be on the record? What was going to be on the comp you just did? How do you divvy up those songs?
I pretty much knew right off the bat. Last year at Fest, we have 2 songs on the record called Shelter and Drone. We played them at Fest last year. We knew those were going to be on the record. We had a song called Deadlines that we knew it really wasn't going to fit with anything because we figured it kind of sounded like a leftover Monoculture song. So we figured we'd put that out as a 7-inch. But as far as the writing goes, I mean, a lot of our first record, Monoculture, was just a whole conglomerate of different songs that we've had over years and put together, whereas Headswell was written as song, we tried to write a record. You know, it wasn't just let's write a song and then play shows and then write a song. We wrote songs to be one cohesive piece. So it's probably the biggest difference.
Well, I know too, listening to the lyrics a lot, I feel on Headswell, there's a lot more written in the first person, a lot of a lot of me on the record, whereas Monoculture was more about, I felt like other people and kind of culture at large. When you were approaching the lyric writing for that, did you kind of say to yourself, you're writing more about yourself, or are you writing from a fictionalized perspective?
It's definitely more personal. Not just for me. I feel like as a whole band, we kind of went through a pretty tumultuous year. So it was very, I don't think easy is the right word, but it just made the most sense to write about our personal experiences as to what was going on. Definitely with Monoculture, it is a lot of third person. It's not like I don't incorporate my own personal intake into it, but definitely Monoculture has more stories, more fictional background to it, whereas Headswell is definitely very personal about what was going on in our lives at the time, for sure.
Well, obviously, your band is known, I think, especially for Derek's pedalboard, but you have a pretty sizable pedalboard as well. When you're playing these new songs live, have you encountered any unique challenges that you weren't really ready for playing them? Are there surprises that you're oh shit, how do I do this?
It's funny, Derek's pedalboard looks like a space station. It looks like if you hit the right sequence of buttons on his pedalboard, it's going to grow wings and fly away. Believe it or not, the newer songs, they call for less of me having to dial in tones on my pedalboard. I've been scaling it back, believe it or not. I only had, I used to have, 4 distortions, more delay pedals than I even knew what to do with. Now I'm just just give me 2. I just want a really simple pedal board. Derek was playing with Tiger's Jaw for a little while. He did a tour with them in Europe, and he scaled down his pedal board from the aforementioned space station to just a wood block with 4 pedals on it, just his distortion tuner and a reverb on it. And he sounds just as good, in my personal opinion, using either or. So it's more about how good of a guitarist you are, I guess.
And so what you're saying is you guys are the best guitarists. So
I'm saying that he's definitely better than I am. Not to say using a lot of different pedals definitely has its own quirks to it, and it could go one way or the other. Some people just like to jerk off on their pedal board with their delays and go off, but there's definitely a real skill to it. Like a band like Mogwai, or My Bloody Valentine. You look at Kevin Shields' pedal board from My Bloody Valentine, it's the size of this parking lot. But he knows what to do with it, so it's all relative. Yeah.
So this has been a pretty busy year for you guys, doing the new record, having the split 7-inch come out as well. You were just on the Studio 4 comp, which you are proudly repping the artwork from. What's been some highlights of the year musically that weren't Sainthood Reps related? What are some things that you've been really into that you want to kind of tell everyone else to go check out?
This year's been such a great year for releases, especially from bands that we're lucky enough to call our friends. I mean, Balance and Composure put out a phenomenal record. Oh Brother put out a phenomenal record. Touche Amore just put out a record. A lot of Disputes recording right now. I mean, there's so many bands. Daylight, I can go on, like pretty much anyone that's on the Studio 4 comp put out an amazing record this year. Not to mention, like, I just heard a new Mogwai song the other day. I mean, it's just so many of our friends that we got to watch grow from being small bands just playing whatever local show to growing to like where they are now is just so rewarding to us. I mean, I am just as happy watching our friends in Balance and Composure like get the exposure that they deserve as I would be to watch us get it, So it means a lot to us that they're doing so well. And it's likewise for all of our friends like Tiger's Jaw and Touche Amore, all those bands. So that's to me, that's the most rewarding part, is watching them get to where they need to be.
So this is not your first fest. This is actually your third fest, I believe, if my math is correct. So as someone who's becoming a bit of a fest veteran, a festerin, if you will, all right, what are some tips you want to pass on to new bands playing the fest this year or people attending the fest?
Just promote your band. Don't be a tool and think that you're too cool to promote your band. Just let everyone know that when you're playing. Don't be afraid to get on social media and keep tweeting about it. Make flyers and pass them out. As far as like bands that you want to see, get in line early because every venue is going to be overpacked. Like if you think you're just going to stroll up and see Dillinger Ford tomorrow, you're not. You're going to have to wait in line like everybody else. It doesn't matter.
Well, not if you got one of these. I mean, let's get the shot.
Not if you're King Heiselberg over here and you're fest royalty. Yeah.
All right, those are good tips. Those are good tips. So obviously you're about to head out. You're in the middle of a tour right now with I Am the Avalanche, but in about a week's time, you're heading out on a good month-and-a-half long tour with Polar Bear Club, Citizen, and Diamond Youth. That's going to keep you pretty busy till the end of the year. What do you have lined up on top of that? Do you have things for 2014 already lined up we can talk about?
Not at the moment. We're working on a bunch of different things. Our plan is just to be out on the road as much as possible. I mean, we have this new record that we're extremely proud of. We want to keep playing it as much as possible. We have kicked around the idea of maybe recording an EP, but we're always talking about recording and writing songs. But this time it's a little bit more realistic that we might put out an EP around this time next year. It's definitely just talk right now, but yeah, like the plan is just to get us on the road, just keep playing wherever the hell we can play. That's really it.
All right, well, check your local venues listings because Sainthood Reps will probably be there in the next 6 to 9 months, multiple times if I had to guess. So follow them on Twitter, Sainthood Reps, at Sainthood Reps. Go pick up the new album, Headswell, or Headswell, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, Headswell. It's out on No Sleep Records right now. It's Headswell.
A lot of people have asked us about it, and I kind of like the ambiguity behind it. It's definitely, it's supposed to be head swell, like swelling. But if you want it to be heads well, that's cool too.
All right, well, you're in it first. Headswell, head swell, heads good. Whatever you're into, it's cool. Go get it right now. Available on No Sleep Records. It's an A-OK record.